Okay, we are here today with Alyssa Neal, who is our Director of Professional Services at Eddy. How are you today, Alyssa?
I am well. How are you?
I'm good, good. Thanks for joining us today and doing this quick interview so we can kind of get out there and in front of healthcare organizations and let them know more about Eddy. So, starting off, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Everyone's favorite question.
Yeah.
So my name is Alyssa. I went to Texas Women's University. I'm Dallas born and raised. I've been in the credentialing world since 2014, since college.
Yeah.
And I just got married in January and live with our two wonderful cats.
The cats that we love to see on our Zoom meetings. Absolutely.
Yep.
Definitely. So you were in staffing prior to joining Eddy. Tell me about making that move and just, kind of what that transition looked like and how it all came to be.
Sure. So this is like my favorite story, my
Yeah.
favorite job story.
Yeah.
So I have a hobby of messaging female CEOs and entrepreneurs on LinkedIn
Mhm.
to just pick their brain, get some advice, see what they have to say. And I came across Jennifer and saw that she was a CEO. And so I sent her a message and asked her what her secret is. And we talked on the phone. And she told me all about Eddy and actually tried to get me to buy Eddy for my company at the time.
Yeah.
And I flipped the script on her and asked her if she was hiring. And so we spent about 2 or 3 months
Hmm.
talking
Yeah.
until it really just kind of fit for the both of us. And here I am, and it was the best decision I've ever made. It's much more enjoyable than staffing for me personally. I
Yeah.
get to really just focus on what I enjoy. So
Yeah, yeah, that
that's my crazy
credentialing piece.
story.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, and we said from the very beginning, and I've always said this in throughout the development of Eddy that timing has to be right on both sides. And so I think that's what we were just trying to feel out is, when that timing was going to be right. So your title is Director of Professional Services. Tell me what all does that encompass? What does that cover?
What doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, professional services at Eddy has three kind of sectors. So, we have our CBO service, which is our credentialing for hospitals, ambulatory surgery centers, clinics, you name it, we'll credential for it. Our enrollment department, which we do healthcare insurance enrollment,
Right.
group insurance, MPIs, whatever you need to get set up to bill and insurance, we got you covered.
Yeah.
And Eddy Plus, which is our newest
Yeah.
sector. And this is our concierge service. And so this is something we're really proud of because it's not super popular in the industry. And we will essentially be your personal assistant for a physician,
Yeah.
any healthcare provider, get you a new license, renew your DEA, your CDS, help you find a BLS course, basically all the paperwork that comes with being a healthcare provider, we take off your plate.
All the painstaking paperwork.
The
Holy cow.
repetitive
Yeah.
red tape. Yep.
Put in the same information 17 different times over and over. And
Over and
yeah,
over. Right.
absolutely. It's
So
that
we do it for you and then
redundancy.
just go sign here.
Yeah. Yeah. We just tell you where to put your autograph. That's it. And we're
Yep.
done. That's it. So, leaning on your experience in staffing, how do you think Eddy's healthcare suite and our platforms and software can really serve the staffing industry within healthcare?
Sure. So staffing, I learned, is very focused on their ROI. We want to know how much money we're getting back as fast as we can get it. And
Yeah.
credentialing is usually that one thing that people don't understand can't always go as fast as you want it to. There's still
Right.
rules
Right.
and regulations.
Right.
With Eddy, though, we make that as fast as possible. We kind of
Mhm.
cut the extra out of it, the repetitiveness that we touched on, and make it so that your ROI can be higher.
Yeah.
And not only that, you can use it for recruiting. We have a database. You can have inactive providers. Those recruiters can go in and see those providers that have already been credentialed once.
Yeah.
They also can have just view access. So instead of constantly reaching out to their credentialing department to get an update on a provider, they're able to see it themselves real time, which again, is your ROI because you're not distracting your credentialing department.
Right, exactly. And that transparency too, I think it speaks to that transparency that we have that we built intentionally within our system, that anybody who we're credentialing for, enrolling for, can log in and see our progress, and they can see everything and know exactly where we are. So what that does is not only does that take the time away from our specialists, who every time they get a call or an email, hey, what's the status? You have to stop and respond to that. But this way, nobody's taking the time to do that. Anybody who wants any status update at any time can just log in.
Or pull the COI themselves and not have to fax or email or.
That's exactly right. Making it easier in an industry where so little is standardized. We're really trying to bring that standardization, to our product, and at the same time allow for the unique needs and requirements of the different healthcare organizations. It's a big task to accomplish. Yeah.
I mean, that was my favorite thing, obviously coming from staffing, to just see how it could be utilized, because at the end of the day, the recruitment side is the most important side, but credentialing is just as important. And so finding a way that's also very cost efficient compared to competitors.
Yeah.
It's a win-win for both sides. And it's just, how much money do you want to make? Because we'll help you make a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and cutting down on those fees too, like you said, that was one of the major discussions we had in the beginning. Was we kept looking at our competition and these huge implementation fees, and we kind of thought, wait, if it's cloud-based, why do you need these $10,000-$20,000 implementation fees? So anything that we could do to really bring intellect, intelligence, common sense to the whole process and just make it easier for everybody. That was the goal. Yeah, absolutely.
Credentialing is complicated enough.
I
keep getting worse.
I tell you and the team that all the time, that, I can hang in a credentialing conversation for a little bit and then I tap out. Like y'all are way too advanced.
You learn something new every day. Yeah. That's what makes it fun though. It's always something new. Every file's different. Every clinic's different. So it just keeps you on your toes.
It does. And I think also what we can bring to our clients is also sharing that that efficiency and the way of doing things, or some different options for them to consider so that they can work better. Because you're right. It does come down to that ROI. Every moment you spend is monetized. And so you have to really
you can cut down on that back and forth.
Yeah.
I just snail mailed you an application for your signature and then mail it back to me, and then I mail it to this hospital. We don't need to do all that.
Too much legwork. I agree. Yep. Well, I tell you what, it goes without saying, I say this to you often, but we love having you on our team. You are such an integral part of everything that we have built here within Eddy, and we're blessed to have you. So thanks for hanging in there with us and wearing 13 different hats at one time, and going through the pain.
I told you, you're gonna have to drag me out of this virtual office.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. I told you. You missed that part in your contract. You're not allowed to leave. It's in there.
Forever.
Stuck forever.
And it's been great. Bottom. Like, to see, I think I was the 6th or 7th employee. Yeah. To just see it grow, and to, my mother thought I was a little bit crazy taking the risk with a startup company at the time.
That's right. That's right. But explain what made your mother feel better. What made her trust me, and your decision to leave and come with a startup?
So we live in Texas. We're from the South.
Mm-hmm.
Drill team is a very big thing in the South. If you're not familiar, it's kind of like a dance team. And my mother has been a drill team director her whole life.
Yeah.
And I met with Jennifer and talked to Jennifer, and she told me she had been a drill team girl. So when I told my mom about this potential job and this startup, and it's a little bit risky.
Right.
She
Right.
said, well, she's a drill team girl, so you can trust her. It's meant to be if she's a drill team
You'll
girl.
be fine.
So,
you'll just high kick your way out of anything.
Yep, you'll be fine. Drill team girls know what they're doing. So that was honestly a big part of my decision.
Of your decision. I'm so glad.
It just made me feel, just to find, I think that's the whole thing about Eddy is everyone has connected on more than a work level.
Yeah.
We all have something in common, and we have things that aren't in common and learn from each other. And so it just cohesively works. The culture is great.
100%.
And the culture goes back to leadership. And so, when you have a drill team girl as the leader, of course.
What else can you expect? I mean, absolutely.
Great.
Just don't ask me to ever do a high kick again. But yeah, so glad your mother trusted me. It has been a journey, but I'm so glad to be on it with you. So thank you for everything you've done.